beats, boy.
What up, team? Here with Big Boys Boxing. Once again, we live, and as per usual, let me get a few things sorted out here, and we'll get into it. So first things first, some sounds. And next, I will send out a few invites, see if anybody wants to join. I've got a hangout open. We're ready to go. So yeah, like I say, just give me a couple of seconds here. I've been busy this morning. I haven't been able to catch up too much on the news. I've browsed a few article titles and not read them yet. Been out training this morning. Did a 10k run and then spent an hour and a half pipe. So still sweaty and stink, but feeling good. Regulars, I've just sent you an invite via hangouts, and I'll drop one in the chat in just a sec for anybody else who might like to join. Boom, there it is. So the big talking point over the last few days has been the ticket sales for Joshua versus Wilder, breaking a pre-sale record. Many people are saying Eddie Hearn's gone and bought all these tickets and he's going to resell them. I don't think that's the case. What I think the case is a lot of ticket agencies have projected there's going to be a good demand for the fight, so they've gone and bought up the tickets to resell them on their websites. Scalping? Yeah, it is. Are the prices going to go through the roof? I don't know, man. I went and had a look on a couple of sites and you can pick up the cheapest tickets for around 250 New Zealand dollars, so I don't know, man. But it certainly has brought attention to the fight, hasn't it? It is what it is. We've got AA Boxing and Blunts in the house. How are you, brother?
Alright, how's it going, Jono?
Not too bad at all, man. Not too bad.
Do you follow Eddie Hearn on Instagram?
I do, but I don't really look at Instagram that often, to be honest. I check out.
See when the fight got announced, see when they announced Muller versus AJ, like it was 2 days after it, put up a thing saying there was travel packages available by this company. They're called something like, I can't remember the name of them, they're called UK Travel Sport Events or something, and they had all the pre-boat tickets, so it was travel packs. That's why all the tickets are pre-sold for that event. The travel packs and stuff. But that just shows you the kind of draw that AJ is. Well, yeah, the companies obviously think there's going to be good demand for the fight, don't they? So they'll be pre-booking. What they'll be able to do as well is see if they. I know people don't think about this, but you can go and pre-book the tickets on the planes as well around about that time. The mighty days you drive the price of the plane tickets up.
Yep.
Because if you don't buy a ticket, the tickets become cheaper. But if loads of people are buying the tickets don't get. You'll not find a cheap ticket. So, that's how. Because don't get me wrong, I think all the tickets will be sold out instantly, near enough. There'll not be no many even. When AJ fights, only probably about 10% of AJ tickets go and sale to the general public. StubHub buy most of them. Most of the time you buy a ticket for AJ, you have to buy it secondary anyway. Even if you buy it the day of the release, you still have to go to StubHub to buy it.
Yep.
So it's good. What about Tyson Fury? $20 million a fight, is that right?
Ooh.
80 million. They're talking £80 million. I was just on Mixed Combat Radio there and they were talking about it. Rob said it works out 103 million for 5 fights.
Is this the ESPN deal that Tyson's hooked up with you talking about?
ESPN Top Rank.
Yeah, I'd just seen the article before I came on and hadn't read it yet, so...
He'd done a press conference today. Tyson Fury held a press conference. Billy Joe as well was at it. He's moving up weight and fighting for he's fighting for the vacant. super middleweight title. But Tyson Fury signed exclusive to ESPN, and Bob Arum will be promoting him in America.
Oh, bye fish eyes. Or is that?
Well,
is Frank still gonna be his promoter in the UK? Is he? I guess.
I don't get it, because he said it's going to be a joint promotion, but Tyson Fury then gave interviews after it, and he said after it, which is a bit funny, because he said he wants to fight 3 times a year, but he's got a 2-fight deal with Bob Arum to fight in America for 2 fights a year, by looks of things. So I think we might see Tyson Fury fighting twice in America and once in Britain.
Interesting.
But 5 fights for 80 million British pounds, that's what the deal is with ESPN. It's a lot of money, considering he's not even a heavyweight champion and he's no pay-per-view for them. He'll need to fight pay-per-view.
Well, is he going to be pay-per-view by himself after this Wilder fight? I think he will be, if he wins.
I think that Wilder fight's out the window.
It's what, sorry?
I think that's out the window. After it, Bob Arum said that he expects Tyson Fury to be in May or June, and maybe be fighting Wilder in September and looking for $1 million buys on ESPN. That's what they're saying. They're saying they want to own ESPN, they're no budging. So it's not going on Showtime.
Interesting.
So Tyson Fury is exclusive to ESPN. So if that goes to purse bid, ESPN and Showtime will have to go up against each other to try and win that purse.
Well, there'll still be the Eddie Hearn hand in the pie as well if it goes to purse bid, remember? So
honestly, John, can you remember the last time Eddie Hearn won a purse bid?
That's a good point, actually. But
he doesn't win purse bids. There's no way DAZN are going to give him. DAZN's not going to give him £20 million to spend on fighter that's not theirs. They're not going to. I can't see it.
It will be theirs if they win the purse bid, though, won't it?
But it's not their fighters.
No, true that. I have just seen an article here at the top of Boxing Scene saying that Wilder's manager still hopes the Fury rematch deal can be made. So, like you're saying, it sounds a bit shaky at the moment, doesn't it?
Yep. Deontay Wilder was on the Boxing Voice getting an interview after it. But this is the thing. Frank Warren, during the interview, actually said, well, it's going to come as a surprise because Wilder's team don't even know. Nobody knew this, John. Nobody knew what was happening this morning. So, no, they're pretty much saying, if we fight you in America, it's on ESPN. It's no... That's what you're talking about now, man.
Yeah.
To guarantee him $20 million a fight, they're looking for him to get the AJ fight or the Wilder fight somewhere down the line and do $1 million pay-per-views and recoup their money.
It's certainly given Tyson Fury a lot more power. There's also another article here that's titled Tyson Fury to Wilder Joshua. I call the shots now. It's my show. So he's certainly gotten himself into a power position.
He's pretty much just got the same money as AJ's making, but he's just guaranteed himself that without a belt.
Wow.
And that's just his American TV deal with ESPN. I think that's no BT. He signed a 2-year exclusive deal with BT as well. So they're backing him.
That's only exclusively for the UK though, the BT deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
yeah, so it means he'll only be able to fight on Sky, the same way as AJ can't fight on. Wow. AJ can't fight on BT. Like, see, people were saying about see if it went to purse bid, Anthony Joshua loses a purse bid, he can fight on any TV network, and so can he. That's in your thingies, but AJ can't negotiate a contract and fight on another TV network in Britain.
So yeah, if an Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury fight does eventuate, both teams
have to be on both.
Yeah, both teams might as well just go send it straight to purse bid, please, because we can't make a deal.
But they could both agree to show on. They could do cross promotion where they basically say, BT have it, we charge £20, you charge £20, and both of us split it down the middle, or whatever we do. We put all the money in the pot at the end, but they put it on both channels.
Realistically, you think Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren could come to some sort of agreement like that?
Well, put it this way, if AJ and Tyson Fury tell them they've got to do it, then that's different, isn't it?
That's a good point. The promoters work for the fighters, not the other way around.
Aye, I think, see, at the beginning, like, you got to be honest, like, it's the same with Parker, right? Like, the thing the other day with Parker signing back with Duco, he's obviously going to go promotion now. He's probably still going to go top rank in America. He's probably going to go Eddie Hearn in Britain. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't go to the zone in America. If Parker fights, but his fights on Sky, but on ESPN, because he's got a good relationship with Bob Arum, isn't he?
Yep, it does.
So, like, that could happen. Like Parker said, it's about loyalty for him. Parker would rather give 10% to David Higgins when he doesn't need to, and have David Higgins by his side to the end, rather than get rid of David Higgins now, and then you've got to go with a new guy who could screw you up. Because he's only done a deal. He's only done 2 deals with Eddie Hearn, and he's not really involved. So you still need somebody to do your deal. So, could go anyway. Good though, it's exciting times. It wastes it a bit though. It means that now you've got Deontay Wilder, Fury and AJ are all completely different networks altogether now.
Wow. Very interesting indeed. I'm just wondering whether I've screwed something up. I can't see if anybody's watching this stream or not. Might have made it private by accident. Somebody say something in the chat if you can actually watch it. But it should be see the chat.
There's another heavyweight fight as well that's interesting. Do you know the Australian Dylan Cameron? No. Yes,
he got beaten recently. Oh, did he get beaten or did he beat somebody he wasn't supposed to? One of the.
Somebody put out a tweet earlier saying that he's supposed to be fighting against some Russian, I think it is, for the WBO. You ready for this one, John? Well, you're going to wet your frillies now. The WBO Global Heavyweight Championship of the World.
Oh, that's a new one. I haven't heard of that one.
It's even funnier because Frank Warren gave a press conference the day saying Daniel Dubois is fighting Cajano for that belt, and the guy put out a tweet saying that he's fighting another guy for it. So,
oh, that's interesting. I'm just going to try.
So we could have a WBO interim belt as well, couldn't we? And now we've got that, and no doubt there'll be a silver version of that soon.
Oh dear. Starting to pull some WBC tricks. Pull some belts out of their arse to make somebody seem relevant. Interesting. Hold on, I'm just looking up Dylan Carmen on BoxRec, because I'm sure he had a fight recently that he was supposed to win, but he got beaten. I'm sure that's him.
He's a Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I thought Dylan Carmen was fighting out of Canada as well, but yeah, he is Australian, isn't he?
The tweet I seen it, the WBO Global Championship belt or something. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. But apparently Daniel Dubois gone for it. He's fighting for it. These belts are important. Like people need to stop underestimating the power of having a minor title is massive in boxing.
Yeah.
It's like an Oceanic title for an Australian gives you good rankings, or a Commonwealth if you live, or a Commonwealth if you're Australian as well. You've got the good order there as well. You get the chance in Oceanic and the Commonwealth titles. Both of them get you ranked really high.
Yep. Dylan Carmen fought a guy called where did it go? Mladen Miljas, who was 7-0, and he got stopped in that fight. He was supposed to win that fight. So he's had another fight since.
No, this guy was a Russian. I think this guy's a Russian.
The guy he's fighting. Oh no, it was Simon Keane. That's right, Simon Keane was supposed.
That's the other guy. He was a big unbeaten guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the one who was supposed to beat Dylan Carmen. Sorry, but Dylan Carmen knocked him out. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock. That was in round 4 of that fight. That was his last fight. But yeah, the guy he's fighting, Yevgeny Romanov.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's him, mate. There. Does it say under it? Does it say the belt?
Nah, it doesn't say the belt. Oh, hold on. No, it doesn't. It's got tickets. No, doesn't say any belt on here.
Because I just wanted to see if it ever been fought for before. The WBO. Just because these, I don't think this is. I'm sure this is. See, when we see this belt, it didn't look like I seen a picture of the belt. This belt in a boot. I'm sure it's going to be a belt that they've dug out for somewhere. A global champion. I don't get how you. I don't know how it's going to work, but
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous. It's going to be in Russia though, the fight. So, Yevgeny Romanov, I've heard of him. I haven't actually seen him fight. He's 11-0. He's a pretty decent prospect. I don't think he's fought anybody yet though. I'll just bring up his profile and see what we got. Surely there's a name or two we'd recognise on there. Oh, he's fought Marcelo Nascimento, journeyman.
Oh, that's the Argentine.
Is he? Yeah, I think he is Argentinian.
Tyson Fury took Kizzo as well, didn't
he? He's fought quite a few of the up and coming prospects. He fought Joseph Parker. I think he fought Dillian White as well. Yeah, he's fought quite a few guys. That Nascimento, he's a big guy. He's kind of half decent, but don't think he's any kind of gatekeeper even. I think I'd just call him a journeyman myself. Can't see anybody else on here that I recognise for Yevgeny Romanov. Lots of Russian names. Alexander Niskurnikov. I don't know who that is either. No, I thought I'd try and pronounce it. Nah, there's nobody else on here, so this will be a bit of a step up, kind of, I guess. Dylan Carmen, would you put him maybe a little bit better than Marcelo Nascimento?
Oh, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think he's well above that.
Yep. So it's a step in the right direction, at least for Yevgeny Romanov. He's only a small heavyweight. He's only 6 foot, but he's got a 183-inch reach. So that's pretty decent. 183 cent. Oh, sorry, that's his height.
880 centimeters. But I wonder how they're going to fight for this belt, because like they said they're fighting for it, and Frank Warren said that Dubois fighting for it. So like, where's this belt affect the rankings? Because if Daniel Dubois fights Cajano for that and beats Cajano, Daniel Dubois could end up ranked. When Daniel Dubois turns 21, I don't think he's 21 yet, you know, because he's a WBC youth champion. See, he's
22 now.
He's already 22, so he can't fight for that, but he still has a ranking for the. See, if you look in the WBC, Daniel Dubois has a strong ranking in there because he was a youth champion.
Okay.
That's how. Do you know Swartz? That's why he's always been ranked with the WBO. See if you click on him and you look in, if you go into BoxRec and you look at his, see if you look at his first 4 fights, he won youth world champion. He was a youth world champion as well. So it gives you rankings when you become age.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that it's only a British rule, eh? Anywhere else in the world, you can fight for any titles if you're under 21. I mean, look at Mike Tyson.
No, you can as well, but it just means that you can fight for that. Because there's a Scottish person, he's the IBF youth bantamweight champion, but he's a Commonwealth bantamweight champion as well. Because he's under 21. I think he's only like maybe 19. So when he was 18, he won the IBF youth one, and then he won the Commonwealth after that. So it gives you a ranking though. So you're automatically you'll be top 20 ranked, like top 50 ranked straight away when you're young. So every time you fight after that, you build up. So before you know it, you're top 15 there in no time. Okay.
I've just brought up Daniel Dubois' BoxRec profile, and there's no belt on the line according to BoxRec for that fight either. So maybe this WBO global belt is just pretend. I don't know.
I've never seen it. I've seen a picture of it though. A guy tweeted a picture of it.
Okay. I wonder if he photoshopped it and made it up and started the rumour.
Oh no, Frank Warren said at the press conference today that Daniel Dubois will be fighting against Cajano for the WBO Global World Heavyweight Championship belt. I was like, wow.
I wouldn't be proud to announce that if I was a promoter, especially when nobody's heard of it. And
Daniel Dubois. Can you imagine Daniel Dubois trying to say that? The guy can't even talk. Can you imagine trying to say that?
Oh, you're cruel. You're cruel. Okay. Yeah, that's funny shit. Alright, so this weekend we've got that Chris Eubank Jr. versus James DeGale card. We've got Joe Joyce versus Bermain Stavern on there. We've got a couple of other fights on there as well. I haven't looked up the card yet, but those are just a couple off the top of my head. Is there any other fights on that card that you're really looking forward to?
No, I'm trying to think who's on that. There's a guy making his debut who's an ex-soldier. There's a few fights on there that shouldn't be on that. Who's on that card? I'm sure is there not a couple? I can't remember the full card, but Joe Joyce should walk through Stavern. I seen Stavern last night. He's in London. I seen him on. He was on a chat. He was on a video chat with one of the guys on YouTube, and he sat in the hotel for a couple of hours last night. But I don't know. He said he's not coming to lie down, but everybody says that until they get punched in the face, don't they?
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
When you get punched in the face and you think, I'm already getting paid, I've already turned up. As soon as the first bell goes, then you're already getting paid. If that guy punches you and you take a 10 count, then you're still getting the same wages if he beats you on points.
Yeah. Okay, we've got Andre Sterling, who is 9-0. He'll be fighting Ricky Summers.
Yep. I forgot that's on that as well. Is that for a belt or anything, no?
I haven't got that part up yet. I'm just checking out the card at the moment. It doesn't say anything on there about a belt. No, the only belt on the whole card that's up for grabs is the vacant International Boxing Organization World Super Middleweight title. That's the only belt on the whole card.
No, please. Oh, you're joking me. Is Chris Eubank Jr. actually fighting for that?
Yes.
I didn't even know that was on the
WBA Super Middleweight title. Why did you think it wouldn't be on the line? Because James DeGale won it back from Caleb Truex, didn't he?
No, that's it. They're fighting for the IBO. He was IBF. He gave up the IBO. Oh, you need to watch that. James DeGale gave a good interview with BT, and he basically turned around and says that he actually said Al Heyman told him to relinquish the belt and to get him a fight with Chris Eubank on pay-per-view. He said, no matter who I fought with, I've only got so many fights, and if I defended that belt, I wouldn't have had money fights. And he actually gave one of these soppy things where he's like, I want to settle down and meet a lovely woman and have kids and have a family. So, like, he wants to have memorable fights, money fights now. He's already been world champion.
He's not interested in titles. Okay.
He would have loved to keep the title, but he wouldn't have got a money fight. Defending that title wouldn't have been the same money as he'll get fighting Eubank. Okay.
I didn't even realise he'd given it up.
He actually vacated that belt.
No shit. There's only one guy on debut on that card that's listed. Chesney Nibel. Is that the army guy you're talking about?
Yeah, I think it's him. I seen him training. I seen him the other day. He was training. I'm trying to. Sebastian Eubanks fighting Lee Selby. Look, I think there'll definitely be another fight or two added to that as well.
Okay, we've got lots of TBAs still, so there's a few that probably aren't going to be that great of fights. We've got what would you say his name was? Sebastian Eubank. Is he Chris's brother or something?
Yep. Yeah. And there's another one as well. Have you heard of Harlem? He's got another son. He's got a son that he doesn't really talk to. He's got a son that Chris Eubank talks to. See that one? Sebastian. He talks to Chris Eubank and the dad, but then you've got Chris Eubank other son Harlem, and Chris Eubank doesn't really talk to him. They don't really. I think they say hello and that, but they're no like mates.
Okay. So Sebastian's only had one fight as a pro. This will be his second fight.
His last fight was on the Eubank card as well. He's no fought since the last time Eubank fought against De Gale, against Gross, I think.
Did you see him fight?
I seen him fight.
Is he any good?
Nah, not particularly.
Okay. We've also got Lee Selby on that card. He's also fighting. Oh no, he's fighting Omar Douglas, who is 19-2. So can't say I know Omar Douglas myself, but it's all good. We have unrivaled boxing talk and news in the chat as well. How are you, man?
I'm good. To anyone who doesn't know, formerly known as McGregor. What's up, Jono? How's it going, AA? You well, gents?
All good.
All good, man. We're just talking a bit about the Eubank Jr. versus James De Gale card. Some of the fighters that are on there. There's still lots of TBAs on there. Yeah. You got any fights on that card that you're really looking forward to?
Joyce and Stavern. I am actually looking forward to it. As much as most people are like it's a walk in the park, Stavern's big enough and he's powerful enough to hurt Joyce. So, if he comes in any type of real condition, this could be a hard fight for Joyce.
Oh, he's going to have to throw his hands instead of block everything and not throw anything like he has done in the past. But
that's what I said to him last night. I said that to him. That's what I was trying to say to him. Live chat thing. I was trying to say to him, do me one thing, just throw hands, man. See if you put your hands up against your face against Joe Joyce, he's just going to punch you.
Yeah.
Like, if you stand still and cover, put a guard up, then you're just a punch bag, and you're just playing right into his hands.
Not only will he punch you, he'll break your hands. If anybody saw what he did to Lenroy Thomas every time the guard went up, that was it. He punched right through his hands.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, but I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to the Gale and Eubank. Who else is on the card? Names are escaping me.
Lee Selby, Omar Douglas.
No interest. None. Absolutely fuck all interest in watching Lee Selby fight. If you're a Lee Selby fan, I'm sorry, but like one, he's boring. Two, he was never that good to begin with. And three, he's fighting against somebody who very few people will know in Omar Douglas. Omar Douglas is very, very, very bad. And it's a walk in the park.
Yeah. We've got Sebastian Eubank fighting TBA on there as well.
Is that one of Chris Eubank Sr.'s bastard children?
I think so.
No, it's one he likes. He likes this one. I was trying to explain this to
John. This is one of the ones he likes, is it?
Yeah.
It's one of the ones he likes.
The bastard one is called Harlem, isn't he? AA was saying.
That's right. Yeah.
We haven't really got any.
He's offered Harlem Eubanks offered to give Conor Benn a beating for Josh Kelly as well. So.
We've also got Andre Sterling versus Ricky Summers on that card. What do you reckon?
That's not a bad fight.
Yeah? You know much about Andre Sterling? He's unbeaten at this stage.
Yeah, I can't remember his record off the top of my head. I know I've seen him fight at some stage. I was watching a random undercard and I thought he was none too shabby. He can jab and he can move. He can fight on the back foot as well.
He's 9-0 at the moment, so
yep,
could be worth a look.
How many knockouts has he got? He seemed to have respectable power, but not amazing amounts last time.
I'm just trying to bring up his profile now.
Nah, 4 knockouts. I'm trying to see who's promoting him. I'm trying to see where Zach Thompson on a debut. That sounds familiar. Nah, see that was Mickey Hellett. Is that who's been promoting him?
He's got a 44% KO ratio, so he's got 4 knockouts out of 9 wins.
9 fights. It's not a lot of power, but it's nothing terrible either.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's enough. He seems to have a respectable amount of pop on his jab, and he can move backwards. So But Ricky Summers is a good fighter as well. Very underrated. That could be a very good scrap. If anybody's interested, that could be a great scrap because Ricky Summers will try walk him down.
Yeah, well, Ricky Summers has only got the one loss on his record too, so.
Who's that loss? Who did that loss come to? I can't think off the top of my head.
Just looking it up. Frank Buglioni.
Thought so. Wise guy.
Yeah, it was a UD decision over 12, so.
See, when you actually look at his record, though, like, I'm on a bit of a fan of him. I think Ricky Summers should be in there with other people, but see, if you look at his record, he's never beat anybody with a winning record, I don't think. I think he's only fought, has he beat one person with a winning record in his whole career.
His last fight, the guy he fought was 7-31-2. Jeez, that guy needs to give up.
See that though. See if you look at that though. He won that on points, right? But see if you look at that guy. See if you click on him. That guy's only been knocked out 3 times. This is what's wrong. Do you know what's making British boxing fall apart? Now you're putting people in 4 rounders with men who don't get knocked out in 12 rounds. You don't learn anything with a guy who's just standing there and letting you punch him. They don't go down. There's so many boxers out there fighting against these people. I bet you if you click on that guy, he's been all around Britain getting punched about and getting beat on points for about 4 years, probably.
Yeah, I'm just looking
against nobodies.
Scrolling through, it's mainly PTS wins or RTD wins or UD wins. So I spotted 2 KOs.
There you go. Lyndon Arthur. That guy's been beat off of Ricky Summers, Lyndon Arthur, Joe McIntyre, Ollie Patterson, Matty Askin, Sam Sexton. Bloody hell, he fought Sam Sexton. Gary Cornish, that guy used to be a heavyweight. Gary Cornish beat this guy. That's what I'm talking about. This is, but he's
he's a paid punch bag, really, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, not really that.
He's got a who's who of who's not good enough at English at British level, pretty much.
Exactly. Exactly.
And next will be so Ricky Summers against Sterling should be okay. Sterling's not terrible, but he's not great. But he looks okay. Maybe might be a shock. We don't know how good he is yet, but he's okay. Could be a decent scrap.
Yep. We're gonna give a couple of predictions for the 2 big. I'll go the three best fights on the card. James DeGale versus Chris Eubank Jr. You want to start there, Double A?
I feel right. I'm going to just say it. Chris Eubank Jr. by stoppage. Running about somewhere in the first 6 rounds. I'm going for the first 6 rounds, just for the simple fact that I think James DeGale at one point in the first few rounds is actually going to go against the corner of the rope. He's actually going to sit there and try, and that's it. He's going to get hurt straight away. I hate it as well because I hate Chris Eubank. I think he's not even good. I don't even think Chris Eubank's. He's not even British level. Because the only time he fought at British level he got beat, and he's no world level because when he fought there he got beat. So where is he?
What do you mean the only time he fought at British level he got beat? He beat Nick Blackwell.
Oh, come on.
That was British level.
I know, but
realistically, Billy Joe Saunders wasn't British level. That was world level. It might have been a British title fight, but it was world level. You can't tell me a guy fighting against Hughie Fury is fighting at British level. Hughie Fury's a world level fighter.
Or
at least European.
That night, Billy Joe Saunders wasn't world level. Billy Joe Saunders wasn't even British level that night, and he managed to beat Chris Eubank, which goes to show you, like, there's something like Chris Eubank says. Chris Eubank's own dad says you can take a water to the horse, but it doesn't mean he's going to drink, and that's his own dad saying it now about him having a coach in his corner. Like, when your own dad's saying that now, and he used to say you were the greatest thing ever. But he's good. Don't get me. See if he's standing in front of him, he's going to hurt you. And I think James DeGale at one point or another will.
Mate, beating Avni Yildirim proves he's above like British level. Because Avni Yildirim's fighting at world level.
I know he's fighting for a world title in a few weeks, but that shows you how bad it is. I don't know. Chris Eubank Jr. never impressed me. Always think he's always been. Everybody always expected him to just become a world champion.
Yeah. Anybody who expected that Good luck. Sorry.
Any Chris Eubank fan just expected Chris Eubank Jr. just to wake up one day and fight for a world title.
Well, that's just it. Chris Eubank senior fans thought that the son could replicate what his father did, but he's nowhere near as good as his father was. But you want to give us your prediction on that fight? Unrivaled.
I'll just call me McGregor, Jono. It's easier.
Damn right it is.
Let's see. I'm going for the Gale. Because I think even though he's kind of shot, he's incredibly awkward. And he's a good boxer. And the one thing Chris Eubank can't deal with is awkward boxers. So, I'm going for the Gale by a close decision.
Fair enough.
I hope you're right.
I think Eubank will come on strong in the later rounds, but I think the Gale will do enough in the early to mid rounds just to nip it off. Because Eubank takes quite a while to work out his opponents.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same as you, McGregor. I think it's going to be a decision win to the Gale, but I will not be shocked if the Gale gets stopped. I won't be shocked. Yeah, I was getting to that, similar to like what Double A was saying. If he doesn't move and he gets caught on the ropes and Eubank lets loose, then he could get in trouble real quick. But hopefully he's got enough brains to keep moving, keep slipping out of trouble, stay in the centre of the ring and box. But
I don't know. There's something about Jimmy Mack. Do you know his trainer, Jimmy Mack? I follow him and I watch him. And Reece Bellotti was fighting against Ryan Doyle, and I watched the interview with Jimmy Mack, and I went to the bookies and I put my money on Ryan Doyle because Jimmy Mack was talking about Doyle. He was talking about Doyle, how Doyle would have to do this or have to do that, and basically telling you that Bellotti wasn't. And see, when you hear him talking about the Gale now, he's no making positive noises about the Gale. They should be bigging him up, and he's no. I hope you're right. I hope you, man. I hope he gets beat.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. The Stavern.
We have Dan, by the way. We have Dan Mack in here.
Oh, we got Dan Mack in the house. How are you, brother?
I'm good, mate. Thanks, McGregor. I didn't want to be rude and speak over people because I was actually getting tuned into your wee debate there about Eubank and the Gale, so it was interesting listening.
Oh, jump in with a prediction for that fight, man. What do you reckon's going to happen?
I kind of agree with both what the guys have already said. But I'm kind of going to go along with Double A. I think the Gale is possibly finished. It's just whether or not he's got enough to take care of Chris Eubank Jr. But I agree with McGregor. I think everybody's got a really skewed perception of Chris Eubank Jr. because everybody doesn't like him because he's so obnoxious and arrogant. And, you know, so like, you kind of put that hate on him, so you never judge him in a good light. You know what I mean? So I don't think he's as bad as what a lot of people say he is, but he's definitely not as good as what he thinks he is.
Yep. Yeah, it was interesting in the last fight he lost, and in the changing room with his dad, his old man was trying not to say, look, you lost that fight. He was just telling him, you know, you're going to have to watch the fight back. And, you know, Eubank thought he won. I think that was the Billy Joe Saunders fight that it was after. And,
did any of you guys see the... Oh, sorry, Jono.
It's alright, where you go?
I was just going to ask if any of you guys saw the interview with Eubank Jr.'s trainer. To me, the guy looked like a nervous wreck.
Yeah, he's trained UFC fighters and that guy. But the good thing about him is, do you know what he is? He's a good defensive coach, more than anything. But he even gave an interview the other day saying, look, I can tell Chris Eubank Jr. all the things in the world, but if he doesn't take it on board, then there's no point me being there. And his dad came out the other day and said it, and that's strange when Chris Eubank's dad actually comes out and says, even if he has a trainer in his corner, it doesn't mean he's going to listen to him.
No.
That's no good. That tells you that even your dad knows you're an arsehole.
Yeah. Ignorance will get you nowhere, man. You'll learn nothing. And that's the way it's been with Chris Eubank for a while, isn't it? Well, pretty much his whole career. He listened to
Boxing's
nobody.
like tennis. Boxing's a bit like tennis. Like, it is up to you. Like, when you're a boxer, you're in the ring, but you need to have a coach giving you instructions and at least trying to give you tips and tell you where you're going wrong. If you're playing a game of tennis or you're in the boxing ring and you're sat down at the corner and the guy's like, your left hand's way too low, you should be listening to him.
Yep.
Like, that's all you need. You just need somebody, an advisor, somebody to advise you if you want to take instructions.
Yeah, agreed.
It's astonishing that like in a professional sport that you have somebody like that that doesn't listen to a coach, because obviously you can't. You sometimes you can't see what you're doing yourself. You need to, have another eye there to pick up on the mistakes you're doing. So I don't understand that at all.
Well, that's part of what a coach is there for, isn't it? He's not there to watch you and tell you, yeah, you're doing good, whether you're losing or winning. Kiss your ass and tell you you're pretty. Fuck that. You learn nothing.
Paulie Malignaggi's in James DeGale's corner, is that right? Did I just see that? He's going to be in DeGale's corner. What's he going to be? Is he just going to be an extra set of eyes, I take it?
I don't. I've no watched interviews with him about that, but I heard that's the case. But I don't know what role he's already got a coach, so I don't know how that's going to work.
He's got a coach, and the coach is Boys' assistant, and I'd imagine they'd have a decent cut man. I'd imagine they'd have their own cut man as well. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Maybe just imagine Potley's doing the cut.
Well, he's got enough experience to cover pretty much any job in the corner, ain't he? Oh, Paulie.
No against Chris Eubank Jr. though, somebody who could cut you. You don't want him.
Give him a headbutt. Shut up and listen. Alright, we'll move on to the next one. The Joe Joyce versus Bermain Stavern. We'll give our predictions and how we think the fight's going to go. We'll start with you this time, Dan. Where you go, man?
I would have to say that Joyce has got the pedigree through the amateurs and whatnot, and he's got an extensive amateur experience. He's a bit robotic, but I would imagine he would dispatch Stavern quite comfortably. He's looked really poor. I know that he'd been out the ring for 2 years before he fought Wilder, but he fought another guy though, and everybody felt he lost the fight, but he got a decision. I can't mind the guy's name.
Derek Rossi.
Yeah.
He got knocked down in the first round in that fight too.
Yeah. So he's been on the slide since then. So, and even when he was at his best, it's debatable how good he actually was. I would expect Joyce to win this one. But I did hear what the guys were saying about Stavern earlier, and I do agree. He has to let his hands go, because this is his last hurrah, and he's got to go out on his shield, at least giving it a right go to try and win the fight, because that performance against Wilder was dreadful.
Yeah, the imposter, he says. Alright, man, where you go, McGregor? Give us your shout on it.
On Joyce Stavern.
Yeah.
Joyce is going to come out. Stavern's going to come out. They're going to meet center of the ring. Joyce is going to be too fast for him. Every time Stavern tries to throw, if he even does, he's going to be met with a counter. There's not really going to be much of a jab fest. Joyce is eventually just going to start plodding bombs during the first round. He's going to keep landing them, smashing them through the gloves. As we get into the second round, Stavern's going to probably stumble again. He's going to eventually take a knee or get dropped. And Joyce is going to finish him off. The referee will come in and wave it off in the second or third round. Very viciously and very barbarically.
Just looking at Adam Fahey's comment in the chat, Stavern will come out of the ring saying 2 + 2 is 7.
That's a fair prediction.
I remember hearing about when I can think about Stavern, and I actually got quite excited about watching them. Well, not like I would sit up later that, but like it was a fight I would try and watch. Like he was a name I would try and, like, when I heard him, I would look out and watch the fight. Like, but now I think to myself, I think he's going to go into the ring with a big smile on his face and loads of dreadlocks, and he's going to come out it with a big bust nose, and he's going to have absolutely no hair, and he's going to get punched right out his dreadlocks like Joe Joyce said he's going to do. So Joe Joyce, isn't he? He's not an angry person, but he did say I punched him out his dreadlocks. So that's a big statement. If you're going to say you can do it, then you're going to have to go out and show it, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, he's pissed off what Stavern said about their sparring session. Apparently Joyce had his eye split open, and that was enough for Stavern to say he schooled him. You know, shit like that happens in sparring, and I very much doubt Joyce got schooled. So, it'd be cool to see a bit of...
Well remembered, Double A. I totally forgot that they'd sparred together and Joyce got kicked out the camp.
Aye, Joyce said after it, Joyce said that he wasn't releasing anything about it, and then Stavern said something about it, and Joe Joyce came out and said, I didn't want to say anything, but I literally punched him with his dreadlocks.
Yeah. Hard case. Well, it's good to have...
That was for the build-up for the Wilder fight, was it?
The first one?
The Wilder fight.
Yeah,
no, the
first
second
Wilder
one.
fight was...
Oh, was it?
I can't remember when
No, it was
was.
the second one, mate. It definitely was
It
the
might have been
second
the
one.
second one, aye, because Joyce would have been about for the second one.
Yeah,
Because Joyce was scathing, said he had absolutely no chance against Wilder. Absolutely no chance. And he's normally quite, comes across as quite a respectful type of guy, but obviously, what Joyce does, but obviously they've had a falling out, you know what I mean? And there's a bit of contempt for each other there.
Yep. It's good. A bit of beef makes a bit more entertainment, so be interesting to see if anything happens at the weigh-in.
Joyce hasn't got beef in him. I know that sounds right. See if you actually look at what Joe Joyce is. Joe Joyce studied fine art, do you know what I mean? He studied fine art. If you watch interviews with him, like, he studied fine art. Like, he wasn't posh brought up, but he tried to act posh and live posh. Him and his mum, you should hear him speaking to his mum. It's like, if you close your eyes, it's like being at Eton. It's like two English people drinking tea, proper posh, into fine art and that. So he's not really got the bad streak in him outside the ring. I think if you got him in the ring, he'd punch your face in. But I couldn't imagine him against Wilder or that, and Wilder saying something about. I couldn't even imagine him getting angry.
Yeah, well, it's funny when Joyce does get some trash talk said to him, his face kind of goes blank and he doesn't really respond much.
Derek Chisora called him he called him David's Hayes poodle right to his face, and he came on and then he was like to David Hay, remember, he's like, give me £1 if Joe Joyce knocks me out, pay me £1, and if Joe Joyce doesn't beat me, then give me your purse. And he was like, no. And he's like, well, there you go.
Trying to pry money out of David Hayes' fingers, that's never going to happen. Alright, you want to give us your official prediction on the fight there, Double A?
Joe Joyce is... I don't know if he'll do it in the first round, but he'll have about there within 5 minutes.
Interesting.
I think it'll be spot work.
Yeah, very possible. Now, my prediction, I think it's going to go past 6 rounds. I think Stavern's going to be a bit better prepared, and I think he's got a point to prove that he's not just a punch bag. So he's going to try his darndest, but I think Joe Joyce is still going to break his ass down, and he's going to stop him somewhere around 7 or 8, I think. But that's just my thoughts on it. We'll see what happens. Whatever happens, Stavern's going to lose, and I hope it's the last we see of him. The other fight that was on the card that we were going to talk about, what was that one? Oh, I have to bring the card back up because I forgot.
Lee Selby and Omar Douglas.
That was the other one. So yeah, you want to give us your official prediction there, McGregor?
I will fall asleep watching Lee Selby fight. That's my official prediction.
Will
Lee
it last?
Selby by wide points.
Lee Selby by wide points in the most boring fucking nip-tuck, stupid ass, no head movement, no real jab, just somehow will win because his opponents are literally about as good as like a 97-year-old's prostate.
Yeah.
Apart from Warrington's an elite athlete.
Oh, I mean his opponents that he beats, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
He it's not like when he fought against Warrington, he even gave Warrington a good fight. He got fucked up.
Alright, away you go, Dan. What do you reckon of that one?
Yeah, was Selby not in trouble with the police recently? Was he not in trouble? Some kind of trouble in Wales I don't know, man.
Did he put somebody to sleep accidentally?
Yeah, by fighting
I
them.
don't know. Probably. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was someone else. But yeah. I've no interest in it. His performance against the boy for Leeds,
Everybody.
shocking, man.
Yeah,
and it was really highly getting touted about at one point.
The Welsh Mayweather, my fucking ass.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm interested in, to be honest with you.
All right. Do you want to give one there?
I'm going to be struggling to watch this card because of work here. So.
Are you working on Saturday?
Yeah.
Bugger. You want to give a prediction there, Double A? Or are we all just going to go, wide points decision, boring?
That's my Lee Selby to win every round. That's it. Like, that's my bet at the bookies.
Sweet.
I'm not even putting money on it. I just stay away from Selby, man.
Wow. Will there be anything there that's worth a bet with the odds? Considering
Selby.
he's facing
Late
a
point.
walking punch bag.
I'll probably get about 8 to 13 or even money if I'm lucky. Because somebody will expect him to lose a round.
Yep.
If anything comes up, don't be surprised. Like, don't be surprised if the guy stops Lee Selby randomly with a random punch. Lee Selby's done.
One punch out of the blue. Fight over.
Just, I don't even know. Like a thumb to the eye, and he gets stopped from tears or something. He really looks like an inbred Scott Quigg. I really just don't like him.
Awesome. All right, we'll get a bit into the.
I really didn't want to do this, McGregor, but I'm going to have to write because I don't know. Right, go look in the chat, but you're talking about an inbred Scott Quigg, right? That is. Go have a gander at that, mate. That's his breed line. That's his stock, mate. That's where he comes from. Look at that. Look at the pictures. That tells you.
Oh
everything.
my god.
Holy
Oh my god.
Andrew, and that's Mr. Selby. Mr. Selby's well known. Check your tracksuit.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm going to get these pictures up on the stream so we can all have a look at this. Give me a sec here. That's funny shit.
Mate, he looks like somebody who asked me for spare change yesterday. No joke.
You need to watch. There's a documentary. There's a Lee Selby documentary, and his dad's there. I'm sure his dad's.
I'm not watching that AA. I don't even want to watch him fight. Never mind something on his life story. Lee Selby's life story. I wear trackies and I like to box. Done.
Like fucking
Scott
Jeremy
Quigg has
Kyle
more
show.
personality than Lee Selby. It does look like a Jezza show, doesn't it? My nanny ate my goldfish.
That's the last one. Look at that. That's his dad's just had the line.
Is that they just have a fucking line and all? Oh my god.
Oh.
Sorry guys, I'm getting.
Yeah, did anybody else notice that Lee Selby's hat is the exact same colour as his eyebrows? That's really off-putting.
This is proving more difficult than I thought it would be. Give me a sec here.
I'd love to see Lee Selby and Carl Frampton have a fight at the Battle of Nobody Cares Anymore. Or Lee Selby and Scott Quigg in a Battle of Nobody Gives a Shit Anymore. That'd be even better, because I'd like to see Scott Quigg fuck him up.
Alright, here we go. Got it on screen so everyone can see what you guys are laughing at.
Scott Quigg even about anymore?
Last I heard of Scott Quigg, he was fucking...
Is he in Monaco?
He missed weight because he broke his foot.
He's probably still in Monaco.
Scott Quigg is one of my favourite fighters.
Oh, that's some funny shit.
Just for sheer hilarity. How bad he actually is. And he's one of those kids who, got like participation trophies. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry, by the way, if I'm saying things that are too offensive for the channel, John.
Nah, man,
I'm
it's
in
all
a bad
good.
mood.
It's all good. I'm into a bit of humour for sure. It's funny shit. Alright, we'll move on from this anyway, guys. We'll move on to the talk about the Wilder versus Fury situation. I had a bit of a chat about it with Double A at the start of the stream, but Dan and McGregor may have some opinions on what's going on there, so you want to take off there, McGregor?
What? Take off what?
You heard about the ESPN deal that Tyson Fury signed, and he thinks he's got the power with Wilder and Joshua, and Wilder's managers come out and said that he hopes the Wilder Fury deal can still be made. Sounds a bit shaky, so on and so forth.
Right, I'm just gonna put it like this. Tyson Fury has struck a deal which equates to £80 million for 5 fights, or $103 million for 5 fights, or $20.6 million per fight. Happy days. Enjoy your life, Tyson. I don't care, man. I don't care if he fights Wilder or not. Truthfully, I don't. In my mind, he won the first fight. I would love to see the rematch happen. I would. But truthfully, if he fights like somebody else, if he fights a Pulev, or if he beats Kovnatsky and he's getting $20.6 million, he earned it. And the last 3 years of his life, which have probably been horrible for him, he can make it back. So, well done to him. And I think it's absolutely hilarious that Wilder wasn't, like, he was talking all this A-side nonsense, and now he's back where he always was, which is the B-side.
He's almost the C-side now, isn't he?
Do you think Tyson Fury will be able to live with himself? Like, I know it's a draw, right? Like, you can draw with somebody and win the fight. You can have a draw fight and be the winner of that fight. But do you think really Tyson Fury will ever be able to live with himself, knowing that he drew with somebody? I think that will haunt him.
If the fight doesn't happen next, I think it will happen in the next 3 or 4 fights anyway.
Fair enough. All right, you want to have a go at that, Dan?
Yeah, it's interesting because if you think back a couple of years, maybe back to about 2015, 2014, 15, when Joshua was first getting big, and you know how his star kind of grew through there, and all the kind of, you know, how boxing in the UK has grown, how more money's come into the sport. I think what Tyson's done is going to kind of replicate that, and it's going to create a lot of opportunities for fighters, guys like Dillian White, etc., and other UK-based fighters to you know, a real opportunity to go and fight Tyson in the States on ESPN. So it's not just good for Tyson, it's good for boxing. It's all good for boxing. So I think it's a really positive thing. As for the Wilder situation, it kind of leaves. It just depends on whether or not they're going to humble themselves and go into ESPN. I don't believe that Bob Arum and Heyman got on at all. So a lot of people are kind of speculating that the fight's done and dusted. It won't happen. But who knows, man? If the money's right, they might go for it. But there's other guys out there. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, good as gold.
Yep.
All right. Okay. There's other guys. There's other guys out there that would certainly take the opportunity. And I think that a knock-on effect to this move as well. I think White will leave Eddie Hearn. I think there's a chance that he could go to ESPN as well. I'm not sure whether he'll leave Sky Sports or anything like that. Might be a similar situation. What they do a deal with White and Hearn, etc. Like what they've done with Warren. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I've got a funny feeling White's going to leave Eddie Hearn, and I suspect that he will be high up the list in terms of one of Tyson's next opponents. Because that'd be a really good fight. Dillian White against Tyson Fury. Obviously, I think Fury would win it, but Dillian's pretty game, man, and he's got a few attributes. You know, he can cause MD problems if he has a really good night. You know, that left hook, he's got a good jab, goes to the body well. You know what I mean? But I expect Tyson to outbox him. But no, I think it's generally. I mean, obviously, I'm thinking all different angles to it rather than just focusing on Fury. You know, I think it's really positive for the sport in general.
Yeah,
I think it stops all the fights. So if Dillian White's only going to make £2 million, Dillian White made $2 million fighting Chisora, and he would have made 5 fighting against Anthony Joshua. Can you imagine if no matter who Tyson Fury fights, he's guaranteed 20 million just off of ESPN? That's without it being pay-per-view with BT and what he'd make it at that. So if he fights Dillian White, he's going to guarantee sell 25 million plus a fight. Dillian White's going to want at least 12 million. So that fight's never going to happen. Dillian White's not going to fight Tyson Fury for 5 million. When Tyson Fury's making 25 or 30 million pound with that fight, it's going to be the same area in it. They fights, I think it kills it. The fact that Tyson Fury guarantees to sell 20 million pound a fight, doesn't matter who he fights.
It just depends on whether or not what's fair and reasonable. You know what I mean? So, like, if Dillian White was to fight Tyson Fury and I was managing Dillian White and they come in with an offer that was, just say, like, Dillian White's highest payday, I don't know what his highest payday is, but just say it's like 3 million quid, and they come in and offered 6 million, then I don't see why you would knock that back. You've got to take that. You've got to take that opportunity. You know what I mean? So...
Same thing can be said about White with the offers from Joshua to a degree as well, though. You know, he was offered, $6 million or something, and you'd think he'd have to take that. But like he said, I guess there's other contributing factors with the drug testing he wasn't happy with, the time frame he had to train for that fight, and so on and so forth. So there's always a shitload of things that make fights not happen, not just money.
It's a massive move, like HBO being out of boxing and Showtime getting pushed out the market with his own. Like people forget about ESPN. ESPN is the largest sports network in the world. I'm sure if they've got like 30 million subscribers just in America, plus you've got like 50 million worldwide, like they're absolutely massive. Like, and they're owned by Disney, which is absolutely huge. So the fact that they're pumping £100 million into Tyson Fury and into boxing is crazy. Like, and I wouldn't be shocked if Tyson Fury just fights on ESPN. Maybe one pay-per-view fight if they can get it out of him. But for them, if they can buy him for 20 million and get good numbers and maybe get one pay-per-view fight out of him and make some of that money back, then they're happy.
Well, I guess we'll see. 4 fights. 4 fights and see how it goes.
They pay 60 million for it to watch NFL. Is about 60 million a game. That's what you have to pay, $60 million a game just to show a live game. And I think it's about 25 million for the highlight package of that game. So instead of putting on a highlight package of an NFL game that you've already showed or somebody else showed, you can throw a boxing thing on, and then and hoping that if Tyson Fury can build and he gets that fight against somebody, then you get a 50-50 split on a pay-per-view. That's where they're banking on down the line. Tyson Fury and his 4th or 5th fight having a pay-per-view fight on ESPN, isn't he?
I think a lot of also what they're banking on, you know, anybody who's a boxing fan already knows that Tyson's a pretty damn good boxer, but his personality is a big marketing tool as well, particularly in a huge market like the States. So after this 4-fight deal's finished, we'll get a real idea of what his profile is going to be in America. He could possibly land a bigger deal than that if he does well with his personality and sells the fights well. So
he's not talking about coming back to Britain and fighting, by the way. He's talking about, like, he's basing himself out there, I think.
Yeah, well, I could imagine he'd probably come back for a homecoming fight, maybe in Ireland at some stage or something in Manchester, maybe. But if he's really chasing money, then, you know, America's the place to be, isn't it, really, with the bigger market? Just need to build a profile there first.
That's what I mean. The fact that, like, just see even ESPN putting out tweets about him earlier, like, they've got 30 million. When they put on adverts now and they've got Tyson Fury and then Tyson Fury's seen with 30 million, you can't get that in Britain. Like, it's impossible to get on ESPN when they put your face up there. Like, that's you. You're kind of there once you're in the mainline TV like ESPN. You're kind of sorted. He'll be on all the fucking ESPN talk shows and that now.
Yeah.
He'll get his face out enough, won't he? But it means he'll get the publicity. He'll get the push now for them.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, it's massive. It's a massive move, man.
It is
Totally
indeed.
massive. And
Huge.
like what Double A was saying there, yeah, he is looking to fight out in the States, and like to me, for where I'm sitting, the only chance you'll probably get to see Tyson Fury again fighting in the UK will probably be in a Joshua rematch or a Joshua first fight, and that's probably Tyson Fury's next UK fight, because I think that the kind of money that ESPN and the Zone are pumping into boxing, they'll be wanting that fight in America. Do you know what I mean? Because they're trying to put it to their market. You know what I mean?
Aye, AJ Fury, the money for AJ Fury's in America now as well, isn't it? There's no way ESPN are going to give him 20 million a fight without guaranteeing him a fight against AJ, and then him getting a fight against AJ. There's all giving him the money for them notice, but they can't split that thing. If AJ ever fights against Wilder, ever fights against Fury, you can't ESPN split with the Zone, because the Zone charge a tenner and ESPN charging $80, so you can never split that.
I think they'll just hang it though. I think they'll just do the, you know, like ESPN do the first year and then the Zone do the second, you know, whatever way they work it out. It's probably beneficial for the Zone to do the second, because the profile of the first fight might help them get more subscribers and whatnot. But yeah, no, I think they'll kind of do it like that. The first or second fight will either be on Sky or BT, and then, you know, it's not hard to get it done. I mean, I know I make it sound really easy, but it shouldn't be that hard, man. It's like 50-50, man. Just fucking get on with it and get it done.
Promoters, like the boxer might turn around to the promoter and say, look, I don't care where it is, I'll fight on any network, and then the promoter might turn around to the TV station and say, look, we're happy to go on, but the TV network might, there's no way BT have just £2 billion and just bought all the football for Sky for the Champions League. They've bought all the UFC and stuff. BT have invested billions of pounds on their programming. There's no way they're going to let any of their fighters move now. Like they're going to pump as much money as they can. They're going to try and steal as much off of Sky. They've stole all the football. They've guaranteed themselves the UFC. And if they're putting money into boxing, they're obviously in it for a reason. They're not going to half-heartedly go into boxing. Yeah. They're only a couple of years. Like, if they start investing money, like, people forget BT actually turn off twice in their profits, twice what Sky's profit is a year.
Yeah.
They're turning off miles off Sky. Like, BT actual turn on more than Virgin, Sky and Talk put together. They're massive. They've only got 3 sports channels, but they're massive in other ways. And if they come into boxing, and they're tied up with ESPN as well, and that's a deal with them, with BT and ESPN, which is, like, if they go into boxing together, like, they can take anybody on. I know people say the Zone's got money, but they've only got 20 billion. One guy's got 20 billion who owned the company. Like,
yep.
You know, it's when you compare it to companies like BT and ESPN,
which are huge. Agreed.
Like,
yeah.
Profit margins.
They're massive. Like, to any of the people that don't know that BT are a massive telecommunications company.
Well, yeah, it stands for British Telecom, doesn't it?
Yeah. So they run all the phone networks, internet networks. Not all of them, but the vast majority of them. They had a monopoly on the British market at one point. Do you remember they're just massive in that sector. Now they're doing the TV stuff as well. It's a huge company, man.
Yeah.
When Sky was first launched, they actually had to use BT. You used to have to have a BT landline to have Sky.
Yep.
And that was part of the deal. And same with internet. You can have internet in your house and have a BT phone line. Like, so loads of people give money to BT and don't even realise it. I didn't realise how big they are. But they invest in, like, the investment they've made in the football in Britain, like, and it's crazy. 1.2 billion for Champions League. It's crazy money.
Yeah.
Like,
alright, guys, we'll try to get a little bit back to boxing. We've got one other decent fight that's been ordered. Dillian White versus Dominic Breazeale. Yet to find out where it's going to be, or who's going to win the purse. But if it gets to that, that's scheduled for March 19th, I believe. So we'll find out where it's going to be somewhere around then if they haven't made a deal beforehand. But the fight itself, how do you guys think it's going to go? You can kick it off, Dan.
I think White will beat him. Brazil's too slow, in my opinion. But he's got the heart of a lion, and you know when he gets beat, he'll not be down to lack of effort or trying his best to win it. Just his ability wise, he's just not got it. But mindset and commitment and all that, I mean, he's all there, you know. But I think White's just does 2 or 3 things really well, and you suspect that left hook will catch Brazil at some point. And he's had a lot of heavy knockdowns, Dominic Brazil. People tend to forget that, some really bad ones, and you know, so you know, the one against Joshua, the Polish lad, he had some big knockdowns in that fight as well. Mansour, he was getting blasted around the ring in that fight as well. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think White should win it pretty comfortably, in my opinion.
Do you think he'll stop him?
Yeah. That's what I'm kind of hinting at. I'm kind of hinting that Brazil's had a lot of bad knockdowns. You know, they're not just like, you know, a bit of fatigue and you know they're taking a knee. He's actually getting fucking caught flush in the chin and going down and getting back up. You know,
he's
crazy,
getting
man.
Fucked up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, Double A, give us your take, mate.
I don't think the fight's even going to happen. Put it that way. That's my first thing.
Ooh.
I think that fight's a blown. How can that fight even take place now? They've just ordered a fight with Tyson Fury and Wilder. No purse bid called now. And now they're going to say to Dillian White, you fight against Brazil for a belt that doesn't exist, for the chance to fight against the guy who's been ordered to fight somebody and doesn't need to. I can't eat. How's that even going to work now? How
Well,
it's a fair point, man.
an interim title was only ever created when a mandatory obligation can't be fulfilled, and at present, with that Wilder versus Fury being ordered, it can't be fulfilled. The same sort of thing happened when Stavern and Povetkin were ordered because Wilder was fighting somebody else at the time. So even though Povetkin didn't fight and Stavern got
Brazil
gifted
doesn't need to take that fight now. Brazil will be sitting there thinking, I don't need to fight him, I'm still going to Mando.
Oh, if he wanted to get his heckles up and use his lawyers, he probably could. But
and that's his other thing as well.
I think that's what Double A's implying, is that's the most probable outcome in this whole situation, that Wilder will probably end up fighting against Brazil. Then White's going to be left off the hook again, and he's going to be venting at Hearn, and there's going to be more tension in that relationship.
The big problem is, do you know when they released it? See if you read the statement, the WBC statement for that fight, Jono, a lot of people didn't see if you read the word in it, they've ordered the fight between Dominic Brazil and Dillian White for the interim belt, right? Yep. They mentioned the WBC champion, the WBC silver champion, and they never mentioned Brazil as a Mando, so I don't even think that Mando has anything to do with that. I think if Brazil lost that, it would still be Mando, because he's contracted. You can't, unless he puts that Mando on the line, and they can't force him to do that now. So he could possibly still fight against White, lose the fight, and still be Mando. Because see, when they released the statement, read the wording of the statement. There's no mention of him being the man. It's no the Mando versus the silver champion, which it should have been.
I thought they did say mandatory. I'm going to try to find that. Actually,
have a look at that.
They also didn't mention anything about splits if it did go to purse, but apparently they came out.
Confused as well.
They came out afterwards and said that it was going to be 50-50. Apparently.
Oh, did they? I never seen that, because I had to look through the rules to see how they would split it. But obviously, the Mando fighting against somebody would be different. But he had the WBC silver belt, which to them who would actually be their side in that fight. So they don't actually have a rule to clarify that either. But no, I'm sure the actual statement just says ordered the fight between Dominic Brazil and the WBC for an interim belt, which made me think straight away, why would Juno have the...
I mean, it's certainly an interesting situation. And Wilder seems to be out the loop at the moment, but if his team started using their brain, they could quickly get the initiative back in their side and do everything they can to try and set up that Dillian White fight. And could say, well, you know what, fuck Fury, we're going for Dillian White. And they could probably push that as pay-per-view in the United States. And I don't know how well it would do, but I think it would get a lot of... I think it'd get a lot of people, it'd raise a few eyebrows, and it would raise Wilder's credibility and his team's credibility if they managed to do something like that. But I don't know if that's even possible with the mandatory situation with Dominic Brazil.
Yeah, I'm having trouble finding the official announcement from the WBC. Their website is not easy to navigate. Yeah,
Do you ever enter it in Spanish by accident? Do you ever do that?
Oh, I've done that a couple of times. Yeah.
That's hard work.
Yeah. Where is it?
That's just interesting though that they're ordering that fight for an interim belt because the champion's tied up in a purse bid that they've delayed. Then they've delayed it, and now Shelley Finkel, somebody said to Shelley Finkel, oh, there's going to be a big announcement on Monday about the fight, and Shelley Finkel said, no, there's not going to be no announcement about this fight. And then Frank Warren coming out and saying there's no announcement about that fight. It's close, but it's not close enough to tell you that the deal's done, which tells me that, do you know what you need to get an extension is both sides have to go to the WBC and say, we want an extension. You don't have to, that...
Are you there? Dropped off, did you? Oh, there. The whole hangout dropped off.
Can you hear me, Jono?
Oh, yeah, we got you. We got you, Dan. We lost you there, Double A.
Maybe he's lost his... Well, that happened to me the last time. My battery ran out and I never noticed.
It happened.
You know what I mean? It was, the phone was totally dead. I couldn't get it going again. And you know, these chargers, man, they've only got like a metre of lead on them. You know what I mean? So they're practically useless.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, you're back now, Double A.
I'm back, it just cut out. I wonder about, that's the WBC. Everybody's, now you've got the WBO Global Champion as well now, and no doubt you're going to have a WBO Super Champion now that Usyk's moved up, and fucking hell, man. Can we not just, but I think Dana White should come in, take all boxing for 1 year, make one champion, and then fuck off.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Be really nice.
That's why I seriously think that the British amateur boxing and the Olympic boxing losing a lot of money. You can't call boxing a sport. I'm ashamed to call it a sport. It's prize fighting because you don't have one champion. You don't have a championship every year to decide who the champion of the world is. There's no way you're determining who the best heavyweight in the world is because they don't need to fight each other. Deontay Wilder's the champion of the world, and so is Anthony Joshua, whether you like it or you don't. That's the truth of it. You can have 4 champions of the world at one weight, which is right. And there's no way of fixing it. It's impossible to fix.
Yeah. Well, I finally found this goddamn press release.
I'll be right.
Here we go. See if we can hear this, guys.
The WBC Board of Governors has voted unanimously to order an interim title in the heavyweight division under the WBC rules and regulations, guidelines and protocols. Dominique Breazeal, with a record of 21, became the mandatory contender of the WBC heavyweight division in November 2017. Breazeal, in an exemplary action, accepted the WBC's ruling to support the efforts to potentially finalize the fight between Wilder and Joshua throughout 2018, as well as accepting the WBC sanctioning of a voluntary defense of champion.
You couldn't hear it, did you say?
Yeah. I just heard tumbleweed.
Okay, it did say Dominic Breazeal, the WBC mandatory. So they had mentioned mandatory in there. And it says that he's graciously graciously accepted the terms to fight for the interim title. So he's basically given up any legal fight that he could have to hang on to that Mando.
But who wins that purse bid? Let's be honest, right? A lot of people keep saying this, but Eddie Hearn had a chance to get Pulev versus in a final eliminator, Pulev versus Dillian White, and he only bid like just over $1 million for it. So
Yeah.
he's not going to bid $4 million, $5 million for that fight.
Yeah, well, I think if it did go to purse bid, it might be a cheap fight for somebody to pick up, because Dominic Breazeale isn't a headline act in the States, and at this stage neither is Dillian White, so I don't think anybody's realistically going to bid any more than maybe $2 million for it, tops. So
that's shocking. We could have had Dillian White in a title fight this year, and instead we're going to have Dillian White fighting a final eliminator as a pay-per-view probably.
I think if it did go to purse bid, Eddie's likely to put a bid in and try and take it to the UK, and because at least Dillian White's a pay-per-view fighter there as a headline act, so I don't know.
I think Hearn's under pressure to deliver something big for Dillian White.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of Dillian checking out other promoters and networks in the US is putting pressure on Hearn at the same time, isn't it? It's like you got to
whether you like him or whether you don't like Dillian White, it's irrelevant, because when you compare him to the competition, other contenders that are currently going about in the heavyweight division at the moment, he's the guy that's done the most to where you could credibly argue that he deserves a shot at the title, whereas other guys like Dominic Breazeale have been completely inactive. So Hearn, by hook or by crook, needs to deliver him a big fight, because he should really be in a title fight, and it's no happened because of the negotiations with Joshers fell through for whatever reason. Who's right, who's wrong, didn't really matter. The fight never happened. So that's so they're going to get something sorted out for Dillian White. And like what Double A was saying about 10 minutes ago, I can't even see this Dominic Breazeale fight happening, especially when they rose that point, because when you actually think about it, there's a strong likelihood that Breazeale will be Wilder's next opponent. So where's that going to leave Dillian White? Realistically, where's that going to leave him? He needs to try and get a big fight, so he needs to fight somebody like Ortiz, or maybe even a Parker rematch. Who knows?
Well, personally, I'd like to see the Parker rematch. I was hoping that would happen straight away after that fight, but it wasn't realistic at the time. It could be more realistic now.
He needs to fight Dillian White. Let's be honest. Right, I'll ask you, Dan, how long ago should Dillian White have had a title fight? Like, how long?
I think after he beat Parker, to be honest with you. I know they were talking a lot of shit about he beat this guy and beat that guy, he beat Chisora, blah blah blah. I think it was a Parker fight for me. When he got the win against Parker, I thought to himself, you know what, look what everybody else is doing. He's done a wee bit more. So yeah, if there's going to be anybody getting a shot at the belt, it should be him. So from the Parker fight.
But see, instead of fighting Parker, do you not think instead of fighting Parker, he should have gave that Parker money to Breazeale and beat Breazeale and got the Mando for Breazeale, and he wouldn't have been in this situation.
100%. 100%.
He could have done it ages ago. See the moment he beat Hellenius, and the moment Breazeale beat Molina, the only thing on Dillian White and Eddie Hearn's mind should have been, we need to beat him. We need to get that Mando for Breazeale. By hook or by crook, if we have to overpay him, we'll overpay him. We'll get it on a pay-per-view, and we'll get you a pay-per-view fight for a world title. That was his chance to do it, and he never. He fought against Lucas Brown, defended his silver belt, and then he took a money fight instead of the Pulev fight. And that's the thing. And then instead of fighting Ortiz and Pulev, he fought against Parker. Then he turned around and says, I'm going to fight against Breazeale, Ortiz or Chisora. And then Eddie Hearn came out and said, Breazeale and Ortiz are the good, they are the names. I'm going to fight Chisora. It's a much bigger fight, a much better fight. So now you're going to come out and say, Breazeale's a bigger fight, when you've already turned around and slated him or the Ortiz fight. you bring in boxers, then all Eddie Hearn done was trash talk Brazil and Ortiz and say how they weren't as good as Derek Chisora to sell the Chisora fight, and now he's going to have to
that's
try.
right.
There's only so many times you can do that. Dillian White's not got a massive fan base. He's got a Sky following. But even they come to the point where they say, wait a minute, is that not the guy who's already been beat off AJ? Is that not the guy who's like, I don't know how much he can keep buying, how much he can't just keep beating people who AJ beat and sell its pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, you can look at it another way with Dillian White. With
But
regard to
he's going to have to fight somebody though. That's the point. He's going to have to fight someone, and that person's got to be credible.
Kalnacki.
Yeah, possibly. But it's just down to the politics. Is he not with Heyman's guys?
He is, but Dillian White's a free agent, isn't he?
Yeah, true.
So, and he's been
Yeah,
talking.
that'd been an interesting fight.
It's a legit.
But it needs to be somebody credible, because the Brazil fight doesn't look like it's going to happen.
No.
And so he needs to fight somebody half decent and keep this the show on the road, so to speak, until he gets himself into a proper title shot.
Maybe it
You know
will.
what I mean, and he builds credibility as well with people that like myself that are a bit critical of him on Double A. If he goes out and beats somebody else, another name, at least eggs on the faces like guys like me who criticise him often.
Myself included.
I made a video about Dillian White. I think I'm going to say it again. Until he beat Parker, there's nobody on Dillian White's record that should have gave him any credit. He was built up off the back of getting beat off AJ. He got beat off AJ, and then he beat Dave Allen, Baccaran, Ian Lewis, and beat Chisora when he was washed up. You know what I mean? And he won the silver belt against Salinas. Off of that, Dillian White was telling people that I fought loads of eliminators. He'd only fought two eliminators. One he got beaten and one he won.
And the operative words being they weren't final eliminators either. They were just eliminators.
Just eliminators.
Yeah.
Just actual eliminators. He'd only fought two top 15 rank opponents in his whole career until he actually fought against what's he called? Fucking Lucas Brown. And Lucas Brown only sneaked in at number 14 just before it. Like, you got to remember that. But before that, like, Dave Allen wasn't ranked with the WBC. But Ian Lewis certainly wasn't.
If you also look at Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and Joseph Parker's records prior to them picking up a belt, they're better record. They're not as good a record as what Dillian White has up until fighting Joseph Parker, were they?
That's what I mean. But
that kind of reinforces the point, though, Double A, because I totally agree with what you're saying. By the way, just being devil's advocate. That just goes to show you what the other contenders have been doing as well. What's Luis Ortiz been doing? What's Brazil been doing? I mean, you compare what Dillian White's been doing compared to what they've been doing. What he's done stands in a much better light than what they've done. Even though he's not really done that much other than a fantastic win against Parker. And obviously the knockout against Chisora, that was a good effort there as well. So I'll give the guy credit where credit's due. But no, I totally agree with you, by the way. I totally agree with you.
You need to beat somebody though. You need to beat unbeaten fighters to see on BoxRec. You get points. So basically, see if Dillian White goes out and beats Brazil, he's only going to claim a couple of points off of Brazil because Brazil's already a beaten fighter. See, once you get beat, your points diminish. So he needs to fight people for him to be able to climb up. For him to be able to climb up anywhere, he needs to be beating people ranked above him. And for Dillian White, nobody's ranked above him. Any fight Dillian White fights now, it needs to be a title fight. Like, there's no point in him having 4 fights.
Oh, you get more points for fighting. You get more points for beating unbeaten fighters though as well, don't you? Because they've.
The unbeaten fighters, I've still got there. If you're an unbeaten fighter, even if you're only 2-0 and you beat somebody who's a journeyman, you can get 8 points off of that journeyman. But if somebody's 16-4 and fight a journeyman and beat them, they don't claim the points.
Okay.
So you need the points as well. You need to be able to gather ranking points. And when you're fighting eliminator, everybody he fights it will be an eliminator. But he really needs to get himself up there. He's not going to get a shot with IBF. The WBO is his best shot. He's already got that in the bank. Now go the WBC route. And that's all he can do. He can't go anywhere other way, can he?
Just trying to see if he's not in the WBA rankings. I thought he was.
He's not going to get a fight out of that though, is he? Because they're going to be calling who they've got too many champions as it is.
They do indeed. Or maybe that he could try and get a fight against. Manuel Char and Fraser Quendo actually gonna fight now apparently, but he could try fight a Trevor Bryan because he's got that.
People stopped calling Char out, didn't they? Everybody was calling Char out for ages. Remember Tyson Fury and Muller and Dillian White were all calling him out saying they were going to get his belt, and everybody just gave up.
Making it too hard, or he's trying to, ask too much to fight for his piece of shit fake belt. So it is what it is. Oh, Dillian White is in the WBA rankings. He's number 4. Underneath Fraser Kendo.
They were talking about a wee tournament as well, weren't they? They were talking about trying to get a tournament with having a four-man tournament with Big Baby Muller, Dillian White. Well, have they not got a champion as well? Who's their interim champion? Is there a WBA interim champion as well? No?
Trevor Bryan.
Yep, him and somebody else. Aye, that's what I mean. It's too many there. Dillian White would have to beat. You'd have to beat Bryan, then you would have to beat Char, and then you'd have to beat, because the WBA will eventually call. They will try and unify that to keep the belt up.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of a.
So something has to get done about all of this, by the way. I mean, it's a fucking nonsense. The contenders should be fighting each other. All the top contenders should all be fighting each other and earning the right. And who cares if you get a loss? If you put up a good performance, you learn from it, you bounce back, and you come back better for it. They should be fighting each other. There's about 8 or 9 guys that are probably about half decent. If you think about like Hekovic, Joe Joyce, Dillian White, Brazil, Parker's probably went down a wee bit because of the defeat. All these guys should be fighting against each other.
Ajit Caballero and Otto Wallen have been ordered to fight. It was going to happen until Wallen's coach got attacked in New York. So that's step aside for now, but that fight should be happening soon. 2 European unbeaten fighters. But yeah, if these contenders don't start fighting each other, these up-and-coming fighters like Filip Hrgovic and there's a few others that are unbeaten, Joe Joyce on the rise with less than 10 fights, are going to start overtaking these fools. So they need to get their ass into gear and start growing some nuts and fight somebody. There's a lot of guys around.
There's a big month for boxing coming up as well, man. A lot of good fights.
In March.
It's hard for them though. See if you were somebody like Hrgovic, or even like Joe Joyce has only got one option, and he needs to push for a WBA. When that comes round, I wouldn't be shocked to see Joyce fight Char before anybody else. Like, that's money he would probably overpay to get that belt, to get a shot, because he's looking at a title shot in 18 months, and you're just going to, unless you're a mandatory, you're not getting. Joshua's not going to have time to take voluntary fights unless it's for undisputed.
Exactly.
So you need to be up there. And
the biggest problem Joe Joyce has got, he hasn't got any real money behind him. He wants these fights, but nobody's willing to put a decent amount of money up. That's why I think the Luis Ortiz fight is probably a good one for him, because Luis Ortiz will fight for smaller amounts of money, I think. But I have to get a few
I can't
things
see
out
that.
of the way.
I can't see Ortiz fighting the likes of. Ortiz had made. What did he make? 175 and 375. He's had 2 fights since he fought Wilder, didn't he?
He's had one. I think he's got his fight against Christian Hammer coming up.
Has he only had one? Has he only had that one fight?
I think he only had the one against Razvan Kajanu.
No, and then he fought. Did they not fight Kaufman? At the
he did. Yeah, he did.
But he made 500,000 out of their 2 fights. He got 375 grand for fighting Kaufman. Like, now, if you're going to take that to fight him, what are you going to take to fight? He's not going to fight Joe Joyce for less than that.
Not less than that, no.
That's what I mean. And Joe Joyce hasn't got £500,000 backing in him.
Yeah, good point. Well, how much does Al Heyman believe in him? But he'll be double dipping in that fight anyway, wouldn't he, Al Heyman? So he'd probably be wanting to pay both fighters as little as he possibly can, which is unfortunate. But I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. Either way, they've both got fights. We've got that one this weekend. Joe Joyce, Bermane Stiverne, Luis Ortiz has Christian Hammer to sort out. We'll see where they go from there. So, yeah. Alright, anything else you lads would like to bring up before we think about shutting it down? We've been on for...
Yeah, I was going to say about the potential of Povetkin fighting against Alexander Usyk and the possibility. I mean, I don't know if he's already discussed these, or Parker against Chisora.
Yes. I did see someone in the chat earlier was saying Parker has given Chisora 24 hours to sort out whether he wants a fight, so they must be negotiating at this stage. I did see an article with Joseph Parker the other day that was talking about they want to get a fight sorted out quick smart for him. He'd like to fight on that April 20th date. I don't know whether that date's still going to be reserved at the O2 or what, but Parker's keen on that Chisora fight. Chisora's apparently said, you know where to find me, so hopefully they can sort something out. But there's a couple of other fighters that Parker had mentioned. Luis Ortiz was one of them, but I don't know how realistic that is either. And also some other news with Joseph Parker is he looks like he's going to re-sign with Duco Events because his contract runs out next month. He's going to re-sign with Duco probably for the rest of his career. So yeah, it doesn't make it that hard for him to get fights around the place. But yeah, the Alexander Usyk Povetkin fight had been talked about as well. I think that's probably going to happen. Yeah, where you go, Dan?
Is it still tied in? Is it still tied in with Top Rank, Parker?
I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that contract expires the same time as the Duco one does in March. But like we were talking about earlier, loyalty is quite a big thing for Parker, and it's likely they'd keep that association for US and Asian fights. So we'll see what happens.
I was just thinking about opponents for a certain individual who signed for that organisation today, you know what I mean? So you never know how these things can play out.
Yeah, well, Tyson has said in the past that he'd like to share a ring with Joseph Parker.
Good mates, aren't they? They get on really well.
They do. And
Esther Hugh got beat off Parker. Tyson took Parker out and had a good drink that with him, didn't he?
Yeah, they were having a party in Parker's hotel room, doing the haka and having a bit of a piss up. So, and they keep in touch all the time, apparently. So, yeah.
But Usyk versus Povetkin, no, Usyk said that his next fight will be in America in May. I can't see Usyk versus Povetkin headlining a show in America unless the Zone are going to put that on in some casino somewhere. Like, I can't see Usyk versus Povetkin. Where would you put that?
I don't know.
I'm not sure, man, but just run with it anyway, man. How do you think it would go if it did happen?
Usyk.
Yeah, Usyk. I think Usyk could stop him late. I had a bit of an argument with somebody about this. I
would back you on that, Jono. I would go with that.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me that Usyk doesn't have a chance of stopping Povetkin. It's like, yeah, Povetkin's got a good jaw, but he's almost 40 years old. He got spectacular, well, not spectacularly, but he got definitely stopped against AJ. And once you get cracked a couple of times and stopped, your chin does get weaker, your nerves get exposed, and so on and so forth. But I think the relentless pressure from Usyk would wear him down, and you know, he wouldn't get up off the canvas after quite a few rounds. You know, we saw it again in the fight against AJ. He slowed down, and Usyk doesn't slow 100%. Down. So
yeah, I mean, but like 5-6 years ago, Povetkin. I'm not saying it would have been a different outcome, but it would have been really competitive. And you know, Povetkin can still bang, and the guy can box as well. You know what I mean? He's not a diddy.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? He's a good fighter. He's just a bit older now. And slow down a wee bit. But yeah, I think it'd be an interesting fight. Obviously, if Povetkin cut him, Usyk could be in trouble. You know what I mean? Because he's a big puncher, Povetkin.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that knockout against the Cam. I mean, if he fucking lands something like that on you, it's fucking good night.
Exactly.
So yeah, he's a big hitter. Like, so it'll be certainly interesting. But like you, I totally agree. I think Moore explained it really well there and how the fight would go. So I would definitely go with Usyk to win.
Yeah. What do you reckon there, Double A, on that one?
Aye, I'd go for Usyk. Usyk on that as well. I don't know, Povetkin is good, but then again, he is 40. When they fight, Povetkin will be 40-year-old, coming off a loss. Probably lost a bit of heart, and that's the one thing he did have.
Yeah.
We'll see though. That'd be a good fight, but I don't know if that's a fight that can get made in America really. Between the two, I think Usyk would need to. That's how I thought big, but maybe Miller wasn't quite ready to get through in there. Maybe sacrifice to AJ was better, but I really thought they were lining Miller up for him. See the way they were moving Miller around the country. I thought they were going to move him around and bring him back for Usyk. But it's a big. Whoever Usyk fights a big fight, but like a Russian and a Ukrainian in America is no. I think Usyk will maybe Ortiz. Like we're saying about money wise, Ortiz isn't expensive. Let's be honest.
Yo, Usyk wants to build a US profile. You've got to start somewhere, but like you're saying, I don't know how good Povetkin are do in the States as an opponent. Ortiz may be better suited, but Usyk's team had come out and said that Ortiz had turned down a fight when they hadn't even freaking offered it to him. So, you know, they're trying to create a bit of buzz there. They did the same thing with Joseph Parker. They said he turned down the fight as well, but they hadn't even offered it to them. So they're definitely trying to build Usyk's name as a heavyweight, and you know, you got to start somewhere. But I think Povetkin versus Usyk would do better in the UK. But like you say, he's got a debut in the US he wants to do in May, so I don't know who it'll be. I just hope it's not too lower level opponent, somebody within a top 15 of a governing body would be nice, and I'm sure Usyk would have no problem beating any heavyweight that's outside the top 5 sort of thing anyway. But interesting to see what happens. I guess we're going to find out in maybe a month if his debut is going to be in May, so we'll see.
My only concern for Usyk at heavyweight is that he was feeling Gassier's power when he was going to the body when they fought. I've not seen the Hunter fight. A lot of people said to me to watch the Usyk Hunter fight because apparently the Hunter hurt him a couple of times as well. So that's only element to it as well. So but it's going to take a good boxer to beat him. I mean, some of these heavyweights are kicking around. Half of them can't even box.
I actually was watching a few Usyk fights when he was fighting the super heavies in the World of what's it called?
World Series of Boxing.
World Series of Boxing, yeah. He was fighting Joe Joyce and Junior Farr, and in those fights, if you look at his body, he looked a hell of a lot bigger because he was fighting at a bigger weight. So I'm wondering, this time he's had off since he fought Bellew late last year, he might be converting his body to a heavyweight, and he might not be as vulnerable to the body with a bit more meat on his bones. But there's always pitfalls to that as well. He may not be as fast, may not last as long, but in those World Series of Boxing fights, he certainly didn't look like he was slowing down at all, even though he looked considerably bigger. So,
nah,
he's going to cause major problems, man. He's going to cause major problems.
I think so. He may not have the heaviest hands in the world, but he doesn't put everything on every punch. And like he proved against Tony Bellew, who can bang, the accumulation of those punches when they hit flush, it takes its toll. It doesn't matter who you are. If you get smashed in the face 20 times a round, by round 6, you're not going to want to fucking be there anymore.
The only thing I would say about that, though, is, Jono, that Tony Bellew was getting on himself. He was
agreed
right at the tail end of his career. and that was his last fight. You know, we've seen Joshua struggle with smaller guys. We've seen Wilder struggle with smaller guys, Spalka. So there's no doubt in my mind that that Usyk can cause they two a lot of trouble. Obviously, if they land on Usyk, it's night. So that's basically what it's coming down to. I don't know, man. I think Usyk is really good. You know what I mean? I think he could potentially beat the guys.
I agree.
I think he's got a right good chance. Probably between Joshua and Wilder, maybe Joshua's a wee bit wiser boxing wise, but he does struggle with smaller guys. You know, and it's not as if Usyk's small; he's like 6'3". But even Joshua was struggling against Povetkin. He had to lower his own height. You know, like to stand tall. They had to come down to Povetkin's level so he could land his punches.
Yeah.
So he's not. It's not easy for these big guys fighting guys like that, especially somebody who moves as well. I don't see Tyson Fury having any problems with Usyk just because he's the, you know, his length and his reach and whatnot and his boxing brain. I just don't think Usyk will get anywhere near Tyson Fury just because of the physicality aspect of it. He's just a much bigger man and with big, huge, long arms and he can box as well. That's not to say that Usyk couldn't pull it off, but
you
it's unlikely.
Watch Usyk. As long as Usyk saying it about him. Usyk gave an interview about it when they asked him about turning to heavyweight, and they asked him about Wilder and AJ, and he said tomorrow, and they said Tyson Fury, and he said no, spaghetti arms. That's what he spaghetti arms. He said they said no Fury. Yeah. Spaghetti arms.
Well, if Tyson Fury tried to do the big man thing like he did against Steve Cunningham against Usyk, he could be in trouble, but you know, I don't think Tyson's silly enough to try that sort of tactic against Usyk. He would box him and he would beat him because Usyk wouldn't be able to get close to him. I think Tyson Fury's quick enough to deal with the speed and movement of Usyk. He's not faster than Usyk, but he's certainly quick enough. But yeah, very interesting fight if that one happened down the road. What do you guys think Usyk versus Hughie Fury would be like? Would that be much different?
I don't know. I think it's just down to the style. Like Hughie can box a bit as well on the back foot and whatnot. I think that'd be. It sounds crazy, but but I think that'd be like a harder fight for him than it would be against like Wilder or Joshua. I know that makes no sense to anybody listening, but it's just the style of Hughie Fury. And he's a big lad as well, big long arms that it can move and he can box. I mean, I would obviously expect Usyk to win, and I'm not ditching Joshua or Wilder. It's just the style of Usyk. That's the only thing. I just think he's a style that it's not a good match for they two. That's not to say that they could beat Fury or could they beat other guys. It's just the style. You know what I mean?
Do you think it'd be fair to say any big guy that can move well and has good footwork could probably beat Usyk, but anybody whose main attribute is big power shots could be in real trouble against Usyk?
More or less, but you do have to take into account that Joshua's an excellent counter puncher as well. You know, so I mean, it just takes one Wilder Joshua to land one big shot, and that's it. It's game over. Because these guys hit hard, and I think Usyk will probably come into trouble at the heavyweight division. Sounds mad again, but probably against fighters round about the same size as him, the same height as him. Somebody that's really good at going to the body, with tremendous power as well. You know, somebody with quick hands could cause him trouble that are quite heavy-handed as well. I mean, it could be more kind of problematic for him with the contenders. I'm just kind of basing it on, and I'm just basing it just purely on style. That's it.
Well, we must remember that Alexander Usyk is actually 6'3" or just over, and he's got a 78-inch reach. So as a heavyweight, he's not tiny either. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of heavyweights in the division that are 6'2" and under. Povetkin's one of them. You know, Travis Kaufman, Amir Mansour, all those, Andy Ruiz, they're all smaller than Alexander Usyk, and if he's packed on a bit of beef to get up around 230 pounds, he's certainly competitive even against the guys that are 6'6". So.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's like practically no difference between height, reach-wise, between like, well, maybe the reach and whatnot. I've not studied it, but like, if Alexander Usyk stood next to Joseph Parker, for example, you wouldn't notice a lot of difference.
Yeah, Dillian White.
Yep.
Big Baby Miller. They're all about the same height with the same sort of reach. So
maybe no Big Baby Miller, man.
Well, same height, same reach. But,
yeah, but different width.
Yeah, God forbid Miller fell over and squashed one of his opponents. It'd be the end of the night.
Can you imagine, like, just say, like, for example, that Joshua actually caught him with like, a tremendous looking uppercut, and he fucking went flying through the ropes, the carnage that would cause.
Or over the top of the ropes, even.
Like, through the ropes onto the table would just fucking collapse. The commentators would be dead.
Oh dear. I think we might see a bit smaller Miller when we get to this AJ Miller fight. I think he knows this is the biggest fight. He's going to be down around 280, I think.
What do you think about that fight, Double A? I've not heard what you think on the Joshua and Hangouts.
Big Baby Miller's training sessions always look like he's just warming up. Every training session's a warm up. Every single time I've seen him doing a training session, he's just at the bag staying maybe kid on punches where you're like 3 centimetres away from it, just like jabbing it for about 3 hours and then he stops.
The only time I've ever seen Big Baby Miller running is in that video where some dude's got a cheeseburger on a string, on a stick like a fishing rod, and he's running along behind it trying to grab it. That's the only time I've ever seen him run. He needs more of that shit.
But I tell you something, see if he's got a chin, he's dangerous. There's only one way to find out if you've got a chin, and that's let AJ punch him. See if AJ punches him and he doesn't go down like a sack of spuds, AJ's in trouble, because I've seen him fight in the kickboxing and that as well. He's got fast hands, and see if he thinks that, see when AJ punches him, and if he doesn't fall to the ground, Muller will gain so much confidence, especially that kickboxing thing about him. He will throw shots. He's definitely one who he will not curl up in a ball. He's made to fight. He'll throw back all the time. Yeah. So.
Well, that article that came
I don't think there's a lot of meat. I don't think there's a lot of meat on Miller's punches. But he does use his physicality well, especially when he gets guys up against the ropes, leaning on them. If you're a Joshua fan, then you'd have to be concerned in this aspect that Joshua has shown in the past that he can gas out, and fighting this type of opponent that's going to put pressure on you is what Double A was saying. That Joshua's going to have to make an impact with his jab and every punch that he throws, because I think it will be an accumulation of punches that will get Joshua the knockout. Because as you say, Big Baby does come from a kickboxing background, so he's going to have to get hit with a good few right hands, and Joshua's going to have to make him respect his power early doors. And as rightly what Double A says, if Joshua doesn't really make an impact, then he's certainly in a lot of trouble, because Joshua is a good boxer, but he's really vulnerable when he's on his back foot. He doesn't look so competent. Then he's really good in the 3/4 range. He's got fantastic hand speed, great power. He's got a lot of ups about him, Joshua, but you know, his gas tank is a problem, and fighting in the back foot is a bit of a problem as well. And his head movement is not that. It's improved, but it's not anywhere near where it should be. So yeah, he could be in for a long night, but I think he'll knock him out, to be honest with you, man.
I think he's going to stop.
I've not seen Big Baby fighting. I don't know how good he is. Do you know what I mean? He's like what we're going about earlier, Dillian White, does he deserve a shot? I mean, he's fighting fucking 40-year-olds and all that, and some of the guys he's going up against are a complete joke. Even when he fought Duhapis, I wasn't that impressed. And he fought, was it Adamek?
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah,
shouldn't have fought him.
These guys are well past it. I mean, well past it.
I didn't
I mean,
think the
I think
Duopa...
Joshua's a fucking Olympic champion. If he can't take care of Jarrell Muller, there's something seriously wrong.
I don't think
But you don't
the
think-
Duopa fight was actually that bad a choice of opponent, but Duopa was injured. He had something wrong with his neck in that fight, so he wasn't fighting to his best. But I think Duopa isn't that bad a fighter, to be honest. I think he's, you know, legit top 25 sort of thing. But
Aye, but he's getting on. What's
He
he
is.
about 40 as well?
I think he's only about 36 or something like that. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. But as for my opinion on the Miller vs Joshua fight, I think Joshua would be best served coming in around 240 and having the ability to move well and last a bit longer. And I think he needs to put a lot on his jab for the first 4 rounds. Occasionally throw a right hand, but double and triple that jab. Keep that distance and make sure it's a sledgehammer jab. Once Miller slows down a bit, I think Joshua is going to be able to start throwing the right hand a bit more, start throwing a bit more combinations, and I think he's going to stop Miller, but I think it's going to be a referee stoppage. I don't think he's going to be able to knock Miller over physically. So, but it is a very different fight for AJ. He hasn't fought somebody who's got a pretty decent chin that throws so many punches and just keeps coming forward. And also the fact that he's over 300 pounds. He may not be for the fight, in my opinion. I think he's going to come in around 280, but we'll see. The physicality of that size, if it does happen to get in close quarters and Miller starts leaning on him and pushing on him, that's going to take a little bit out of AJ as well. So the statement that...
Aye, you don't want to be in a wrestling match with Jarrell Muller.
Hell no. The statement that Miller came out with the other day about only being an inch shorter than AJ, that's horse shit. You know, the other parts, to a degree, like saying he'd never fought anybody like Miller, that's correct. There isn't another fighter out there besides Adam Kownacki that might be able to help prepare for Jarrell Miller to a degree, because nobody comes forward and walks through punches like Miller. But saying that, we haven't
You're
seen...
not going to get him as a sparring partner.
No, that's right. We haven't seen Miller face any big power punches, but we have seen him as a kickboxer. He's taken some hellacious shots at the top level of kickboxing, so I think he does have a legit, not quite granite chin, but a very good chin at least. And it's definitely going to be more interesting than a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are saying it's a crap fight, don't watch it, and all this sort of shit. But I'll be watching it.
No, I'm not saying it's a crap fight. I just don't think Muller has earned the right to be there, to be honest with you. It's just like a big marketing ploy by Eddie Hearn and all that to get Joshua's profile up in the United States and get some kickback towards the zone.
Exactly.
That's basically, that's what it's all about.
Miller's a tool that they're using.
I mean,
and the only thing that...
Joshua should be fighting, trying to get one of these sanctioning bodies to call a Mando and fight Pulev. Get that done and dusted. Get that out the road. So he clears the pathway moving forward instead of this shenanigans.
Yeah, I'd like to see...
They've got to start thinking about their own career and stop reacting to what everybody else is doing, because I think that Hearn and that's on the back foot and they're not taking control, they're just reacting to everything. And I think, you know, this is a reaction to how the Fury the Wilder negotiations fell flat and he's come in for a bit of criticism.
Yep,
It doesn't fucking matter what I think or what Double A thinks at Eddie Hearn. They've got to do what's right for Anthony Joshua. And what's right for Anthony Joshua is to get some of these fucking stupid mandatories called as soon as possible and get them to fuck out the road so that he can go into these big fights and there's no stumbling blocks, rather than fucking this shenanigans going on in New York.
Yeah.
I think it was putting out that tweet though. AJ put out a tweet, didn't he, saying who do you want me to fight next? And you've got Tyson Fury, Wilder, and White on it. And I think Fury won it, then Wilder, then White, and then he's fought Muller. And then he got in the ring. He only got in the ring in December. You got to remember that. He only got in the ring a few days before Christmas and said to Dillian White, "Oh, you're number 3. If I don't get AJ or if I don't get Wilder or Fury, I'll definitely give you a rematch."
Well, that just shows it.
That's what I mean though, Double A, that they're not... They should be taking the initiative and deciding what they're doing rather than reacting are putting themselves in a situation where they're vulnerable to somebody like Dillian White walking out the ring on them and making them look like fools. They shouldn't be putting themselves in these situations in the first place. They should be taking ownership and control of their own career and doing the right thing. And then the right thing is putting pressure on, like the IBF, they call that Pulev mandatory. You know what I mean? That's the things that they should be trying to do. And they should just be sticking the middle finger up to people like us that would criticise them for fighting Pulev.
But AJ, I see when you think about it, can you remember Eddie Hearn coming out and saying before Wilder fought against Fury, he said, look, we've sent Wilder another offer. If Wilder beats Fury, then there's a 60-40 split here for Wilder. We've made another offer to Wilder. Remember, he kept saying it. Wilder needs to sign this before the Fury fight. We need to know before Christmas or that. He could have, like Dillian White turned around and said, he could have made a deal with me and said, look, if all these fall through, I'll give you April. He's like, but he never contacted me until January the 1st and tried to negotiate a deal. He's like, it's too late to start negotiating. Now, it's what he said. You were willing to offer a guy who had a fight, a contract a month before me, and if I was number 3 on the list, then surely you should have offered me at the same time. Just dragged on for Dillian White, didn't it? I think he wanted to fight. I think he was saying to Eddie Hearn, give me an offer for April. I think he'd been saying that all the time, and he's not got one until January.
Yeah, they left too many eggs in the Fury and Wilder basket. Left it too late, lost control. Now they're playing second fiddle. So,
they're playing. No doubt they'll get some, case of spectacular performance against Muller and knocks him out in New York, and everybody sees it. Then there'll be a bit of buzz and a bit of hype about him. And you can always turn these things around. You know what I mean? It's nothing's ever permanent. You know what I mean? If you take control of things, you can. But they have dropped the ball. They can't deny it.
Yeah. They
have dropped the ball, but it's there to be picked up again. Same with the Wilder's team. It's not been a great day for them, but they just pick the ball up and go on with it and try and get a good opponent to fight next. You know what I mean? But I'm just a wee bit miffed with this Muller fight. I don't see the sense in it. I can understand maybe there's rules and whatnot with these sanctioning bodies and whatever. Maybe there's stumbling blocks there as to why they couldn't have forced the IBF to call the Pulev mandatory. I would have preferred to have seen that, because at least I know that Pulev's a half-decent boxer and he's been in with some decent fighters throughout his career, I know he's beaten guys like Derek Chisora and whatnot, so you kind of know he's at a certain level. I've not got a clue what level Jarrell Miller's at. I really don't, because he's not fought anybody. I mean, the guys he's fighting are just, either they're well past it or they never had it to start off with. I mean, people are saying like maybe Gerard Washington or whatever. I mean, fuck me, man. He was only ranked about number 70 at best on BoxRec. I can't remember from the top of my head, but do you know what I'm saying? And he's fighting Duhapis and whatnot. I mean, these guys were fucking. Come on, man.
There are pros and cons to it, though. Joshua has only fought in the US as a pro. In the UK as a pro. Having a debut against a big mouth Brooklynite isn't a bad way to introduce yourself to the US. For the future, if AJ does well in this fight, it's only going to increase his value in the US in future fights. So there are some positives to it, and it was a fight that was always there ever since Miller had signed up to the DAZN. So like I said earlier, Miller's just a tool to help AJ move along, and I'm still going to watch the fight. But
I'll still watch the fight, man. Don't get it wrong. I'll still watch. There's a guy in the chat saying that what's that? He thinks the Muller fight's better than White, and then somebody else is saying they think Muller's far better than Pulev. Really?
Well, if Miller and Pulev fought, I would have picked Miller, to be honest. But
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It would have been a pretty close to 50-50 fight. If it hadn't have been if it had been anywhere but Bulgaria, because I have no doubt that fight would have gone the distance. And being in Bulgaria, I wouldn't have trusted the judges. But it is what it is. But unfortunately, guys, we've just ticked over 2 hours, and I'm kind of pressed for time. I've got some other shit to do. So
no worries, man.
I'm going to have to start winding it up. So, any final words before we go there, Dan?
No, mate. Pleasure as always.
All good. Double A has dropped out. We also had Unrivaled Boxing Talk earlier in the chat. Go check out his channel. It used to be McGregor Boxing Stars. Double A Boxing of Blunts also has a channel. Has a lot of funny shit that he posts. So go and check out his channel. And always a pleasure having you on, Dan. So thank you very much for turning up. Everybody in the chat, thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up before you leave. Subscribe if you aren't already. And we'll catch you next time. This is Big Boys Boxing, Dan Mac, Double A Boxing and Blunts, and Unrivaled Boxing Talk. We out. So